it's
not if you're married with kids.
Yeah, right.
So, everybody has different circumstances.
Right.
So as well as that's an ideal situation, and I'm glad that's working for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't assume everybody out there who will listen to this or
right. Well,
in the world has
the moral of the story is that your profit has to be above your expenses. That's the only math involved, really. So if your expenses are lower, you can skate by on less profit. Is basically it.
So to kind of harken back to my question is, other than just plain needing more money,
right?
We're kind of in this part now where we all know we don't necessarily agree with everything Amazon does.
Right.
But Amazon's become such a conglomerate of ways to be a seller of products,
right.
to be a consumer,
yeah,
and
the way an entrepreneurial mindset is, you use all these things as stepping stones. Like, obviously, Amazon isn't ideal. I don't agree with Jeff Bezos, etc. But the point is, use it as a stepping stone. Try to get more out there, more people to know about your product. And right now, it's like 60% of people are buying things on Amazon. Where let's say I even got my product in Walmart. There's not 60% of people that shop at Walmart. So I'm in front of more eyes on Amazon than Walmart. And how much would it cost to launch a product in Walmart? It would be $1 million to launch in Walmart. You can launch an Amazon for under $1,000. So the point is using these things as stepping stones. Maybe you don't agree with YouTube, but maybe you need to start with a YouTube channel in order to get eyeballs, and move away from YouTube when you can afford to, and start selling on Amazon, start selling on eBay, anything you can to get in front of as many people as possible. And then once you develop a following, you develop goodwill in the community, you can divert more people to your own website to do things more directly.
So yes, but in how does one, because as we have noticed in your marketing efforts,
mm-hmm.
for instance, you were able to basically put all guns blazing on this business because
right.
you did save a bunch of money,
right,
through your previous full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
But for those that A, don't have the means, or
right.
B, just are in a situation where you never know. There's just, you can't always assume everybody has the means or the opportunity.
Yeah, my suggestion to anybody in any situation is start. Do something. If you can do it for 1 hour a weekend, start there. Just do something. Do something that you love doing, and that's where it all begins. And my number one also thing is, don't make excuses, don't wait. Like, one thing my dad did, and I've learned a lot of great things from my dad, but one thing I've learned not to do is to say, well, I can't do that until I can get a patent, right? Like, when I retire, I'm going to get all these patents. I've been hoarding these patents. I'm never going to tell anybody I'm going to get the patent and I'm going to get rich or something. That never works. What you have to do is just give. Anything of value that you have. Like, if you're good at art, if you're good at writing, if you're good at making videos, if you're good at playing video games, figure out how to give that content to as many people as you can. Because karma really works. And like with NatureHacker, like I said, people believed in me and they would buy literally anything I sold. And that's a lot of power there that you have to be very mindful of, that you don't want to just give people crummy products. But the point is that you develop goodwill just by giving what you do best. So if you're great at repairing bicycles, just start repairing bicycles. Just, even if you can only do it for 1 hour a week, schedule that hour, make sure you do it, and then maybe next week it could be an hour and a half, so you just, and if you're older and you're experienced and you have a family, I think, you're in a better situation even if you don't have a lot of free time, because people will tend to trust you more, like, and what you do will be better and higher quality just because you're so experienced in life that even if somebody that's 18 has 20 hours a week they can do stuff and you only have 1 hour and you're 55, your hour is probably going to be more powerful than their 20 hours just because of your experience, because of you understand people better, you understand how business works better. So even if you only have a small amount of time to devote, just do it. And I mean, that's your only shot at doing your own thing, is start doing it, even if you only have a little bit of time to do it.
Right. That, I mean, I assume most people out there would agree, or maybe they might disagree. Now, to kind of bring this all full circle of where we started with NatureHacker and how it's developed to now, teeth powder is maybe the product you want to focus on. In your time doing NatureHacker products, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said you did a multitude of products which sold, but
right.
Because maybe at the time when that caught on, you were also working full time. Was it hard just to want to? You just felt like you didn't have time to devote.
Yeah, right. And the problem with NatureHacker products is that they were so diverse, and I wanted to add a lot of value, so they were really difficult to make. And if you have 10 different products that are all difficult to make and you run out of one and you get a big order and you also work full time, you're like, oh crap, like when am I going to make up that batch to be able to, let's say you're out of 3 different products and you're working full time. So it wasn't a good thing to do while working, but I kept teeth powder going. And that was something that was like, okay, I can get my process to just make that one product, get my process to where I can do it in a reasonable amount of time and be able to do that while I was working. So I kept that going, but I didn't really push it to get more customers or anything while I was working full time.
So moving forward, I mean, you're currently working, you're kind of in the thick of it now where you might not be getting as many orders as you would like, but you're slowly taking all of the tools in terms of marketing. Like we were just talking about email marketing. You also have done some other forms of paid advertising, either through Amazon or most recently we're using Instagram and other forms of social media to get the word out.
Yeah.
Now, are you seeing loyalty like you did on NatureHacker, or are you finding that the majority of the orders that you're coming in are all new first-timers trying it and they're not returning? Now,
yes.
So to those naysayers out there, what would you say would be the best strategy to try to keep loyal customers?
That's a great question, but one thing I want to say before that is, because you keep talking about marketing and branding or whatever, the point is, being an entrepreneur, you can't be afraid of anything. You have to do everything. So I'm not a marketing person. I'm not an artist, but I've done art. I did the label art for teeth powder because I had to, because I'm not going to be able to pay somebody to do it. I'm doing the marketing because I had to. I had to learn. Go to YouTube, type in how to do Amazon PPC. I literally taught myself all of this different stuff: manufacturing, product design, branding. What do you call that? Graphic design, marketing, email marketing, advertising. Like, you literally have to do all of it, unless you have friends or family that actually can do parts of those. But number one, don't be afraid. You just have to jump into it. You have to find the information on how to do it. But besides that, that's a great point. Yeah, right now, my customers tend to be less loyal because maybe they just see my ad on Amazon, or they see my listing on Amazon. They're like, oh, that sounds pretty good. I'll get it, try it out. They're not going into it knowing who I am as a person, that I'm really trying to help them, that I'm really trying to provide a lot of value, that I'm going up against big dental, I'm going up against big pharma, I'm risking, talking about, conspiracy theories, and things like that. So, the more people know about you before going in, the more they're willing to cut you slack, the more loyal they're going to be. But like, let's say I just have a customer who's like, oh, I usually buy this other brand of teeth powder. Oh, I'll buy this brand. Just check it out. And they're like, well, it doesn't taste as good as I thought, so I'm going to give you 0 stars or something. So there could be 0 loyalty there. Well, and it's a lot harder.
Yeah, but I would have to say, as someone who has both tried to use your product and believes in it, but because I was the one that was like, this, I can't do the taste. And that was back when it was teeth.